Hello my loves! If this is your first time to my channel, thank you so much for being here. My name is Emily and today I am bringing you guys this week's Pay or Stay Away. So let's go ahead and hop right on into this week's releases. Charolette Tilbury is releasing her Bar of Gold palette, which will be retailing for $58, and it is available now on Charolette Tilbury's website as well as Beautylicious website. So essentially this palette is just an expanded version of her original Bar of Gold single little teeny tiny cardboard box brick highlighter. Now essentially everyone was losing their marbles over the original Bar of Gold highlight because it literally looked like a little teeny tiny bar of gold and it was a gold highlighter. It's a cute idea in theory, but the kicker was that Charolette Tilbury put this little bar of precious gold highlighter into a really cheap looking cardboard box. And I once heard Kimberly talk about this in one of her anti-hauls, and she was just saying, you're paying for a bougie item that is packaged in the least bougiest of all packaging. The product is supposed to resemble a bar of gold, so it's already being extra and bougie. You think that it would be in a nice little package, you know, something that's a little bit fancier than cardboard, but alas, it was not. So although people did like the product, a lot of people did kind of have issues with the fact that the packaging was so cheap for a luxury item. And some people just weren't super crazy about the highlighter because once the Wet n Wild little mini bar of gold highlighter came out, it was essentially the same exact product, but the Wet n Wild one was like $5 and the Charolette Tilbury one was like $45. So pretty big price difference. In this new highlighting trio, you do get 3 different highlighters. You get the OG original Bar of Gold highlight, you get a newer, more pinky kind of icy highlight, and then you get a deeper bronzy rose gold shade. So the shade selection is pretty, but it's something we've seen 1.5 million times. Although I do like the concept of these highlighters and I think that they're kind of cute, I like the fact that they're themed and I like the fact that they look like little bars of gold. I actually like that, but it's not enough for me to want to go out and spend $55 because that's a lot of money and I don't want to spend $55 on something just because it looks like a little bar of gold. It's not actual gold. So I can just go to Wet n Wild and pick up some of their highlighters and be probably just as satisfied. I'm going to go ahead and skip over this one, but I do think that the price point is pretty decent for Charolette Tilbury. I believe that the original just one pan Bar of Gold highlight was around the $40 price point. And considering that you do get 2 other pans of product in this palette and it is only $55, I think that price is good. So if you are intrigued in this, this might be a good launch for you, but for me and for my needs, I don't need no bar of gold. So the next item on the Pay or Stay Away list is an item that I know a lot of people are going to be talking about, and we are going to hear a bunch of buzz about this specific palette. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina palette. This retails for $42 and it will be available on July 17th on the Anastasia Beverly Hills website, July 29th at Ulta, and August 7th everywhere else, including Sephora, Macy's, Dillard's, and Nordstrom. So this palette is obviously really, really beautiful. The color scheme is on point. Everything is more so in the cool toned spectrum, but everything is on the more purple side of the cool toned spectrum. So it's not like cool toned browns. You get a lot of cool toned purples, some cool toned pinks, even some cool toned bluish tones. It's really pretty. And I do find myself wanting to buy it just like everyone else, but I'm hesitant for 2 reasons. Now, every time ABH launches a palette, they more than likely end up selling out. So then you have to wait for the restocks and it's just kind of a process. So when I know a palette is really hyped up and has a lot of people wanting to buy it, I'm a little bit more hesitant to want to purchase it at the time that it's launched because I know that so many people are going to be striving for it and going after it and staying up all night to be online when it launches, and I just don't want to go through all the effort of that. I already went through that effort many a times, especially with the Fenty Beauty launch that happened last year. I was online at 12 a.m. waiting for the gloss bomb to drop and it was just a hot mess. So I try to stay away from really big brands that launch really, really hyped up products. I try and buy them a little bit later down the line when everything's calmed down a bit. And the other thing that has me a little bit hesitant is the fact that Anastasia Beverly Hills has released some questionable formulas over the past year or so. Ever since Subculture, as we all know, people have been a little bit more wary towards the ABH formula. And I feel like they have kind of caught back up with what they used to put in palettes, with what they put in the Modern Renaissance palette. But I'm just not 100% sure that this palette is going to be the Modern Renaissance formula and their OG, original, good formula. I'm just not 100% sure about that, so I'm on the fence here. Furthermore, I do kind of feel like this palette has similarities to the Desert Dusk palette by Huda Beauty and the Venus 3 by Lime Crime. So I didn't buy either one of those because I didn't really feel like I needed them. So with that being said, I'm not really sure if I need this palette, but it's on my radar, so I might end up picking it up, but I might not. It just kind of depends on the feedback that I get from the rest of the beauty community, because I don't want to throw my $42 at a palette if I'm not going to like the formula. But with that being said, we can't deny it is beautiful. So next up on the pay or stay away list, we have the Too Faced Tutti Frutti collection that has finally been kind of revealed. It's been ever so slightly sneak peeked from a distance. They literally posted a photo on their Instagram that is the whole collection, but it's a really far away photograph, and a lot of the products are covered up by fruits, so it's kind of hard to see what everything is, but you get a little bit of a taste for the collection and a glimpse at everything, and so far I like what I'm seeing. It looks like there is the raspberry palette, which seems to have some more kind of purpley cool tones in it, which looks beautiful. Some split pan blushes, which I am all about. I'm gonna buy both of those. One of them is cherry themed and one of them is peach themed. It looks like they're coming out with a strobing and bronzer highlighting duo, which I think is what I predicted last week in my last pay or stay away. But they are also coming out with a banana powder, glosses, sparkly glosses, and a setting spray. So with that being said, there is one specific product here that I will literally fight someone for to get my paws on. I want both of those blushes so freaking bad. I have been mentioning in so many pay or stay aways and so many videos on my channel that I want split pans from companies. Please give me split pans when it comes to highlighters and bronzers and blushes. And these Tutti Frutti blushes just so happen to be split pans. The colors of them are both right up my alley. One is more so of a kind of reddish pinky cherry vibe, and the other one is your traditional warm peach. Both of those are my absolute favorite types of blushes and colors of blushes, and I am really into fruit themed things right now. I'm really into shirts with cherries on them and just cutesy stuff like that, and this is right up my alley. I feel like these products were basically made for me and people like me who like stuff like this. So to some people this might look kind of gaudy and kiddish, but to me, I am all about this, and I will literally fight someone at Sephora to get my paws on both of these blushes. So next up on the list here, we have some Kat Von D items that are coming up soon. Now I do know that Kat Von D has been in a lot of controversy lately, but I just don't really want to talk about that here and right now on this specific video, so let's just go ahead and just talk about the products. I know that some people are mad at her, and I know that some people support her, and that's fine. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, and everyone is entitled to feel the way they want to feel. So let's just talk about the makeup here, and maybe keep Kat Von D a little bit out of this if we can. I don't know. I'm just trying to keep the peace here. But nonetheless, Kat Von D has sneak peeked her Holiday 2018 palettes. It looks like there's going to be a fetish eyeshadow palette and a fetish highlighter palette. One palette is white and one palette is black, and they're both sort of ovoid shaped. They look like little ovals, so that makes me believe that they might possibly have something to do with the Saint Sinner perfumes, or maybe the Saint Sinner theme that she has going on throughout her brand, because every time that Kat Von D has included the Saint Sinner theme into her brand, there's always been one half that's been white and one half that's been black. So the colors of these palettes kind of point me towards that theme, and that these might be related to the Saint Sinner themes or the perfumes. Now she is also coming out with some new liquid liners that did catch my attention. She's coming out with some Inkwell long wear matte eyeliners in 6 different shades for $20 each. She's coming out with Trooper, which is her classic black shade, Whiteout, which is a pure white eyeliner, which sounds really cool, Vampira, which is the deep reddish burgundy, Outlaw, a brick red, Dream Wave, a true cobalt, and Dreamer, a neon turquoise. So all of these sound beautiful, and honestly I'd like to get my paws on all of them, but they're expensive. $20 for a liner is pretty expensive. Now, my favorite eyeliner is the Balm's Schwing liner. The tip is super thin, so I can get a very sharp line. Formula is super black, super matte, super long wearing, and I'm a huge fan of that liner, so I'm not really looking for a new black liquid liner. But I do see that she's coming out with Vampira, which is the deep reddish burgundy liner. And I have actually been in the market for a burgundy liner because I wanted to do some fun looks with it. I always do pink eyeshadow, and I feel like a burgundy liner would be really cute. So I might end up up picking that up. She is also coming out with a satin liquid liner and a lash liner. The satin liquid liner will be releasing in August and the lash liner will be releasing in July. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip over both of those because I don't need a satin liner and I definitely don't need a lash liner because I like a big, bold, dramatic wing. So the next launch that I want to talk about today is the new Wet n Wild Fire Dragon and Ice Dragon collection. It looks like this collection is going to be consisting of 2 bronzers, 2 highlighters, 2 eyeshadow palettes, 4 metallic liquid lipsticks, 4 pigments, and 2 brushes. So pretty decent sized collection here. So there are bronzers in this collection, and that does intrigue me because I have never personally seen Wet n Wild come out with any bronzers that are in this specific packaging and this specific formula. This specific packaging has been used by Wet n Wild in their highlighters and in their newer blush launches that have been more shiny, kind of sheen type blushes. So I'm wondering if these are going to be kind of sheeny bronzers or bronzers with a glow, because I would be really interested in trying a formula like that from Wet n Wild. Wet n Wild has a really great price point, and I do feel like they have their formulas spot on when it comes to this specific line and this specific packaging. So I am really excited for these bronzers, and I'm probably gonna end up picking up both of them. I'm also really excited for the highlighters. I want to pick up both of them as well. One is more icy and the other one is literally a blue highlighter, which I think is really cool and really unique for the drugstore and the makeup market in general. So I want to pick up basically all of the powder products in this line. So I am really hoping that they come to a store near me soon because I'm willing to drop my cash on those babies. So next up on the pay or stay away list is the new Bobbi Brown Fall 2018 collection. This collection is all about camo. Where? What collection? That was a horrible camo joke, and for that, I apologize. But nonetheless, she is coming out with an entire collection in September, which is going to be based all around camo. It looks like she's coming out with a camo palette, which is going to consist of matte, sparkly, and metallic formulas. And there's also a metallic middle shade that to Trend Mood looks like a highlighter, because I am reading from the Trend Mood Instagram. It looks like she's coming out with some nail polishes, some chromatic shadows, and some lip colors, and supposedly more. So this will all be available in September. This is the fall collection. So I don't really care about any of these products other than those chromatic shadows. Those look so pretty. The actual shadow itself looks like it's a combination of maybe a camo green, a purple, and then a more icy shade marbled together into this beautiful metallic looking goodness. I want that shadow. It looks gorgeous. Now I do know that Bobbi Brown is very expensive, so the price tag for these might be pretty high. But it does look like they are going to be coming out with more products to this line, and I'm curious to know if they're going to expand these chromatic shadows, because this is a really cool idea, and I'd like to see her bring out some more fun, colorful shades with these. If she brings out like a pink, a purple, and an orange, I would die. Can you imagine? That would be the prettiest thing ever. As far as everything else in the collection, it's very muted and kind of tamed down, but it does represent camo very well. The eyeshadow palette specifically gives me camo vibes. I'm just not really about that life, but if you are and you like neutrals and you like these more kind of tan olivey tones, then this might be totally amazing for you. But I'm excited to see what the rest of the collection entails, because if she comes out with more of the chromatic shadows that are marbled together and look like beautiful metallic-y goodness, then I am so on board with this launch. And finally, in my opinion, I saved the best for last. This is the new Colored Raine Vivid Pigment Collection. Colored Raine is going to be releasing this beautiful pressed pigment, all colorful palette, which is right up my alley. It looks like this palette is going to be retailing for $45, but you can purchase all of these shadows individually for $6.99 if you just wanted to get like a quad of them or just one specific shade. You can absolutely do that. So I am 235% on board with this situation here. I love when brands come out with new palettes, but I love when they give us the option to not have to buy the entire palette to get a certain shade. I love that because I always like 2 or 3 shades out of a palette, and the rest of the palette I don't even touch. So this is perfect for me because then I can pick up some of the more orangey tones, some of the purple tones, the pink tones, whatever it may be. I can pick up my specific wants from the palette and not have to go out and spend the entire price tag of the palette. If that makes sense. I really appreciate her thinking of people like me who are like that and considering us when she was putting this collection together. Now, with that being said, I am getting the palette. This is beautiful, and I am 100% buying this. I need this in my hands as soon as it launches. I have only tried 2 single shadows from Colored Raine, but I have been beyond impressed with the quality of the shadows that I have tried. And I want to pick up more, but my biggest complaint with her selection was that there wasn't a whole lot of bright, funky, fun colors. Everything was more on the muted, colorful side of the spectrum. She has some colors in her single eyeshadow line, but a lot of them are shimmers, so there aren't a whole lot of colorful mattes, and I basically bought one of the only colorful mattes that she has, which is Ladyship, which is that beautiful matte purple from the Queen of Hearts palette. So I was personally really hoping that she would come out with some brighter, more fun shades, and she did just that and more. So I cannot wait to get my paws on this. Now, as of right now, I'm not seeing a launch date yet, but that might change very soon because it does say that these are going to be coming soon. So I hope they come sooner than later because I want to pick this bad boy up. But that is all that I have for you guys here on Pay or Stay Away for this week. I am so curious to hear what you guys are going to be picking up and what you are interested in, because in my opinion, there are some pretty good launches that have been announced this week, and rip to my bank account because I'm probably going to be purchasing quite a few of them. But please do let me know in the comments below what you're going to be picking up and which ones you're going to be passing over. I do hope that you consider subscribing if you have not already. I am doing Pay or Stay Away every single Monday, and during the rest of the week I have a lot more makeup content coming at you, so I hope that you consider hitting that subscribe button down below. I do also hope that if you enjoyed this video, please do give me a big ol' thumbs up and hit that notification bell down below. I hope you are having an absolutely fantastic, fabulous, and wonderful day wherever you are, and thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. Bye!